Hi, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the analysis of AMD versus Nvidia side by side. Both are processor powerhouses and have been making tons of money lately with their latest product offerings, coupled with a hot PC gaming market. But if you can only invest in one, which one would it be? So, let's get right into it. Let's start with the profitability. AMD is in blue and Nvidia is red. Both AMD and Nvidia have been firing on all cylinders and have been producing record revenues for the past few quarters. The year-over-year revenue growth is a high 93% and 84%, and the quarter-on-quarter revenue growth is 6% and 13%. So both score 2 points each. I'll keep the scores and tally up towards the end of the video. Net income is a whopping 242% for AMD and 108% for Nvidia. There was this one-time gain due to taxation for AMD in the last quarter that bumped up the net income. Due to this, the quarter-on-quarter revenue growth is negative. Both score 2 points each. Free cash flow is also on the way up. Note the difference between both AMD and Nvidia's free cash flow. AMD just turned into consistent positive free cash flow since 2020, but Nvidia has been having a positive cash flow for many years. The positive cash flow has strengthened Nvidia's cash position, and it was sitting on a huge pile of $15 billion. Both score a point each. The year-over-year earnings per share is again in the high percentages and both score points. Next up is the PEG ratio that measures the price to earnings growth relative to revenue growth. Any value below 1 is a value buy. AMD with a PEG of 0.37 scores a point. At 0.92, Nvidia does not provide enough margin. Next, we look at the margins. Both AMD and Nvidia have high gross margins, but the difference between the two is quite large. Nvidia scores a point at 64% compared to 46% for AMD. The same is also true for net margin, with Nvidia scoring another point at 34% compared to 16% for AMD. Although Nvidia had been enjoying a healthy cash flow for many years and was sitting on $15 billion of cash, their cash position weakened drastically past few quarters with their purchase of Mellanox for $14 billion. The effect of the cash flow is a drastic drop in the quick ratio. So only AMD scores a point. AMD has been paying off its debt and is currently sitting on a small portion of $313 million, that is 3% of total assets. But Nvidia's debt has increased in recent times from $2 billion in 2019 to $7 billion. That represents 23% of total assets. AMD scores a point. AMD and Nvidia pay a small percentage of 1.6% and 2.8% of their net income in interest expenses. Both score a point each. AMD's PE ratio has come down in recent times while Nvidia's has gone up. Still, both are overvalued at these levels. The price to book is also on the high side for both at 15 and 22, so they don't score any points for valuation. Let's tally up the scores. Both scored 11 points each. Both AMD and Nvidia scored equally for revenue, net income, and earnings per share growth. Nvidia scored better for the margins with higher gross and net margins, and AMD scored for low debt and better cash position. Both are equally solid technology stocks, and I have to call a draw for this one. Subscribe to my channel if you have found this sharing useful, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye for now.